which you've came and done yours. Yours is not going that I take lightly at all. And I'm not sweeping this under the rug and making everything roses because I have kids in the school. I'm involved every day, every second of my kid's life. And I tell my work now, I say, hey, you know what? You're going to have to find somebody else because my kids come first. I'm not going to sit on this board. Don't think that you're looking in a mirror and you're seeing your face. It's a window. You're looking through it and you're seeing me. I don't like confrontation, but you know what? In our world, that happens. And what's happened in the news, I take those things with a lot of weight. I tell my wife sometimes I almost don't think I blend into this world because, you know, there's a lot of things that needs to go on, things need to be discussed, but there's policies and procedures that have to happen. Sometimes I don't like the way they happen at work. But unfortunately, it has to happen that way. Tonight was for public comments. I'm sorry, I don't. Mackerel?
Mackerel.
You know, if you have a comment, that's what I want to hear. I know things don't always go smooth. It's not going to be that way. But I think if we can get the public comments, if you've said that you contacted, which you said you did, those are questions for me and these other people. These people they're good board members. It took us a while to get, you know, I mean, we didn't have ever really a bad board, but, you know, things happen. People want to run. We have to have good board members here that are fully vested. So it was my hope that we can have the comments from the people who have comments here. We will give you your time. If you want those comments, I'm here to listen. You have your time. If you need to contact the appropriate person, which by my readings of policy and procedure is the superintendent, there's board members here that are going to back me up, or else I'm in trouble. I'm not a litigator. I don't do that every day, you know, but I do follow policies and procedures. I know what they are. I know it's hard to just make comments and be like, oh, I'm done. But there's stuff you can do. And I don't want to be a part. I want to be part of a good board. I've been doing it for a while, and I told my wife I plan on doing this for a while.
What's the next step then, since a lot of these parents have said that they have contacted the superintendent and that nothing has been done? So can you tell us what would be the next step then to get something done instead of, well, I would like to hear from
the principal will get in contact with you and tell you to contact her attorney. That's the next step.
I was just wondering from your point of view, sir, what would be the next step if you're saying that legal or through the laws of how this board works that we're supposed to go to the superintendent first? Well, when that fails, what happens next? Where are we supposed to turn to make sure that our children are protected and safe at school if the superintendent is, from what these parents are saying, is failing to uphold that and help us? What do we do next?
I can answer. First off, I'm not sure that I've heard from any of you that I have not responded to. And if there is, call. We ask you to call the principals first and talk with them. And if that doesn't work, call my office and talk with me. And your next step, depending on what your issue is, would likely be to approach the board.
So now we are in the correct process.
Parents, the time now is 7:30. Parent-teacher conferences are now over. Please proceed to the front entrance, to the front exit. Thank you for attending.
I was under the impression that we're supposed to contact an attorney next. Is that correct? Accurate, Principal?
I have no idea what incident you're talking about.
Braden Pierce.
We go to you contact the principal, you contact the superintendent. I mean, this is where we get things worked out. So, I mean, certainly you always have the option to contact an attorney, just like you always have the option to come to the board meeting for public comments. But our procedure, our structure is really the classroom teacher that you go to first, and then the principal, and then me, and then to the board.
But again, when
That's
that
the
doesn't
chain that we
work.
follow.
Usually when you say contact an attorney, you don't have nothing to say to me. You're done talking. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, we'd have to know
Legal
the specific
allegations.
incident, so.
That's the way I understand it.
It's my understanding that, you know, your comments, the board then takes under advisement. So everything that you're saying, the board will then discuss, okay? So this is the first step, is my understanding. So everything that you're saying tonight, the board is now aware. So then we will follow through with what we feel we need to do.
And sir, if you don't mind me, what was your name again?
Craig Pierce. P-I-E-R-C.
Thank you.
I just want to reiterate, if you have filled out the comments, we'll go through those. If you have, like we've been discussing, anything further, we'll follow that route because I have not heard of anything. I see a lot of faces. I am out and about a little bit. I see a lot that I know. I would just hope that we follow that, get in contact with that person so that we know. Because there's some things that I am not aware of, so it puts me at a disadvantage.
It's a shame. It's a shame you're not aware.
It's a shame if I haven't been told.
That's a shame that you haven't been told, but, you know, and I get where you're coming from, but this incident was not something that happened yesterday or day before yesterday. This has been going on for a month, and it's been going on in your school. And it's a shame that you haven't been told about this. That's a very shame.
Well, I've been made aware. I know of the incident. I'm speaking to that, people who say, hey, I've contacted, hey, I've done this, hey, I've done that. That's my due diligence now. You're saying, oh, I've contacted. Okay, that's not gonna fall on deaf ears. Because I understand what you're saying, but I come from where I don't go to social media. I want the facts in front of me, and that's what I have to do my job right.
Sometimes only social media is the only way you
Well,
can get things.
I'll view it, but not all the time can you get the accurate
It's a shame that it
information.
has to go that far to get to social media,
Right.
that no one takes care of the business.
Nicole Pierce.
My son is in fifth grade. This is his first year at the middle school. And he had some issues with the kid on the bus at the beginning of the year, and I had documented it with the principal. She said, let us know if anything else happens. On January 26th, he was punched in the face, once here and once here, by a kid. And he couldn't fight back because the kid was holding his hands. This kid, I was told, was not disciplined, but then I was called a liar and said that he was disciplined. So the only thing that happened was a teacher's aide was put on the bus and to keep them separate. That's all that happened. My kid was hit in the head twice. My kid keeps getting moved to the front of the bus while this kid gets to play with all his friends. That's not fair. I asked my kid if he told the bus driver, and he said no because she won't do anything. He doesn't feel like any of the teachers, the principals, or anybody is here to help him at all. And that's not how my kids should feel. And I contacted the principal, we talked. I didn't like that she didn't discipline the kid, so I went to the superintendent and emailed her. 30 minutes later, I get a call from the principal, and she pretty much called me and my husband liars. And she was mad, I could tell. I didn't get nothing from the superintendent. The last word she said out of her mouth is, you can have your attorney contact my attorney. That's the last thing she said to me.
Seems like typical.
And she told us that she seen on the video that my kid was hit. My kid didn't do anything, but we couldn't view the video. I don't know why I can't see my kid on the bus being assaulted. Walk on the bus and see all the kids, but I can't see a video of them. I want my kid to feel safe. I thought we were moving into a good neighborhood, and I cry almost every day because I'm worried about my kids. And they should be safe at school.
Thank you, Ms. Pierce. Forgive me, Gianna? Scott?
Gina.
Gina.
Good evening, everyone. And I understand our room right now has a lot of emotions, very touchy subjects, and obviously there are a lot of issues. Sounds like a lot of issues of discipline and behavior within the school. My biggest concern, I'm a single mother, and I'm a stepmother. My kids are grown, but I have stepchildren who are little, and I live in this community. My biggest concern, and I hear everybody's concerns here, one of the things for me, clarity's sake, is confidentiality. How a kid, and I'm a teacher, how a kid who's in a situation is disciplined, is not public knowledge. We are talking about minors. Here's my concern, because I have a stepson potentially be here in a couple of years. You all are concerned about safety. And I understand